Yeah.
Let's see if it's going.
Should be now. Right.
And yay.
Can you hear us, first of all, please, chat?
Yes.
Yes. Testing.
And can you hear me?
You should be able to hear
Helps
us.
if I'd actually. It'd help if I loaded the comments, wouldn't it? That'd be helpful. There we go. Hello.
That would be rather helpful. Did I even push the go live button? I'm sure I pushed the go. I'm sure I pushed the go live button. Good evening.
We are the epitome of professionalism.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
I'm sure I pushed
the go. Yeah, I can hear us. Cool. Right.
Cool.
Good evening and welcome to the Plastic Crap podcast with me, Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors. Below me is Steve from 1 Point HQ. And to my left is Martin Seventh Son, but it'll be all right, or it should be. Welcome. Lovely to have you here. I wasn't here last week. The guys held the fort down fantastically. And I had to listen back and very much enjoyed the episode while I was doing a bit of painting this week for once. Made a nice change. But yes, how is everybody this week?
I'm recovering. I'm recovering because I had a visit.
Oh, did you? Oh, who was that?
I don't know, but he I had a visit from you.
Oh yes, you did.
And, yes, we did, didn't we? And we had a game of a good game of Black Powder, which I've already seen. There's some lovely comments on, which I'm sure we'll get to in a minute. And I can see that Hayley is getting involved in there as well, so that's cool. She can handle that.
Get the chat.
I'm
going.
all right. I haven't managed to do much painting though, so no. I haven't actually managed to do any more painting than I did last week.
No, so yeah, like I say, I came up to yours, didn't I? We had a game of Black Powder. We had made a day of it. Spent the whole day there. We had some good games. Somehow he ended up sorting me out with this Waterloo box set for his friend, which was even better. So I went up and I walked away with minis.
Exactly. And you got some extras. You got some extras. I
did, and I was nearly going to pick up the British starter army as well.
You're still here. It's still here.
Oh no. But yeah, no, that was this week. But I'm sure we'll talk about that. But what about yourself, Steve? What have you been up to, buddy?
I was working on 6 more Fusiliers for my last Fusilier company for my Napoleonics.
Fantastic.
But my crowning glory was this that I built. There's a video on the channel about it, which is my
your Panther.
My dug-in Panther. It's literally one of the best things I've made this year. Thoroughly enjoyable. It's amazing what you can do with just a bunch of stuff that you find abandoned on your own hobby shelves.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a single thing for that. Everything was found and foraged off my shelves. But apart from that, no, there wasn't much going on last week. Just a bit of Napoleonics and a bit of bolt action. But yeah, quiet week all round.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that tank is pretty awesome. Very much so. I saw it and I was like, I saw it because obviously we've got our own Facebook group that us four have, and we all put like pictures of progress shots and stuff while we're doing videos and bits and bobs up. And Steve posted a picture of the Panther just sitting on the cork bed with some before any of the sprues on or anything like that. And then the next one he put up with like the sprues, and then you see it painted. I was looking at it, I was thinking they would make good bricks, wouldn't they? And as soon as I see it painted, I was like, oh my god, that's gone from that. And I was thinking that looks bloody awesome. I was just it
was a lot of fun to work on. Cause all it basically was an old plastic Panther, cork, filler, and chopped up sprue.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was just really enjoyable to make. But the next thing I'm going to do is I've got the rest of the Panther left over.
I was literally about to ask you about that. What are you going to do with it?
I'm using. I'm going to make base it on a CD and make a large piece of scatter terrain for late war.
Yeah.
Wicked.
No, that's a really cool idea.
But Ken, you like that, yeah? You like that Panther thing, yeah?
Yeah, it's really cool.
But it's a tank on a base.
It's not. It's half a tank, so it's fine.
So if I did a tank halfway in the mud, like just you'd be fine with that.
No, because the tank can't move. It's a solid object. So it's now technically a bunker.
Yeah,
We're getting down a button count in here.
You couldn't do something like that without a base. The base makes. I mean, I could have based the base.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but what the cool
That's
thing
good.
is, you can use that as just a bit of terrain, can't you?
Yeah.
As well, which is
It can either
nice.
be in game
Or a bit of terrain.
Man.
Yeah, or a bit of scat. And I think that inspired me a little bit. I think you're rubbing off on me a bit here, Steve, with your basing and stuff like that, because it's inspiring me with my basing, and just to do a little bit more. Obviously, I managed to finish my first battalion, the 30th line for Napoleonics this week, and very happy about that. I got to play with them up at Martin's, but I just did a quick dip Luke APS because it was the night before. But I want to do a lot more of it, so I went. You haven't seen this yet, Steve. I showed mine, and the local hobby shop by me has just started stocking Green Stuff World stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yes. I was speaking to crumbs. Where are we going? I was speaking to Martin, saying obviously I can pick some stuff up locally and post and save you having to pay over Shore's prices. But literally, this fascinated me. This did. I've just cut out just this here is like a staple for like leaves, and I've literally with the paper, I've just got a load of leaves. You can't see it, but I'll take a picture and send them to you. And my God, they're really cool. So I was thinking about like you could do like autumn blends. There's loads of different types as well. So different types of leaves. So you could do like autumn, you could do like spring, do you know what I mean? You different colours.
Yeah.
But it just adds, and also,
So
go on.
I was going to say, so when you come to do your cannons then for your Napoleonics,
Yeah.
are you thinking bigger bases? Are you thinking sort of scenic, a bit involved?
I'm thinking of doing both battery. So if I do a battery of 2, I'm thinking of doing it because how Martin does it is you do 2 for a small Is it 2 for a small, lot 3 for a large?
No. I do 2 for a battery and 1 for a half battery. And
right.
That's it.
Okay.
So, and that's purely because in the book you have the option of taking half batteries, and I was like, well, how do I represent a half, the difference between a half battery and a full battery? Because I know a lot of people just play one cannon equals a battery, and they apply those rule, the 3-2-1 shooting rules to it. But the problem is obviously we're playing an abstract war game anyway, but the frontage of batteries is quite large. When you reduce it to one gun, it kind of doesn't pay off. So I kind of split the difference of well, I'll just use 2 guns for a battery and 1 gun for a half battery, and that made sense to me. That made sense to me. Yeah.
So if you do a full battery, do you put them all on one base, or are they based individually?
Well, you could do. I based them individually just so I have the option of creating different size batteries. So because you could do something which I've done before, which I didn't do with Ken, which is if you have a unit that's like defending a forward position, you just give them a half battery. They've only got 1 cannon, they've got a battalion, they're in a desperate position, they're running low on ammo, and they've only got access to 1 gun. Pretty much like in every single episode of Sharp where he defends something.
Oh, what have I done?
Yeah, like
what have I
one
done?
gun.
That's better.
So we've got quite a few. And can I just ask people, is the audio all right now? Because I've had a few comments about.
Yeah, I've had a couple. Peter Little,
audio.
Ken and Steve levels are low. They shouldn't be on mine.
All right.
Let me just. All right, I'm just going to go test. Martin, can you go test?
Test.
Can you do it, Steve?
Test.
Right. Well, what should I do is because we've got quite a few people that have logged on. Should we say hello to all these people that are basically taking the mickey out of us?
Yeah. You're right if I just start with it? I think I've just sorted mine out. So I got Dom's here. Hello, Dom.
Dom.
Oh.
We got Hanger Flying says, what's he say? At Haley, were you playing war games prior to BP vids? BP?
Black powder.
Oh, black powder. Oh god, yeah, I've got to get used to that. And Peter Little's put Ken Steve, your levels are low.
Is that fixed or Mike? Because like I say, you mentioned before that I'm normally quite loud on.
Yeah,
this.
but
I turned you down. Because Ken told me to.
Yeah, because this week it's Steve actually turned himself down.
Yes.
Should be all right now.
All right.
Right.
That's
good.
I've
got
him
Leslie.
Up.
So, hi, Leslie. Peter Little. Everyone
Hi, Leslie.
I've recovered from you coming down. The answer is barely.
I'm recovered from that.
Over what happened in that
I'm
game.
recovered from that kebab.
It was a good kebab, though.
It was, but my God, it was salty.
It could feed a family.
It could feed a family, and my God, was it salty.
Bill Roy's here. Hello, mate. He's saying that Sharp and Harper aren't happy with me and remember what they did to the Prince of Orange. Yep, I'm a murdering officer, apparently, according to a lot of people in the comments. I have seen that. Culloden's here. Hello, mate. Amy Brooks here. Don't know why. Ewan and Aaron Lowe. Hello. Robert Liu. Modelling for Advantage. Hello, guys. Duncan FX. Miller's here. I've got a bone to pick with Miller, but I'll come on to that in a bit.
Yeah, he's a bit of a git, isn't he?
Yeah, Hanger Flying. Hello. Oh, and look, Boots on the table with Dom. I want to see Haley versus Ken and Martin next time. They don't stand a chance.
Yes, they do.
But who would we be, mate? What, me as the British and getting the 95th killed, or would Haley have to take the British again? Or could Haley win with the French? That'd be nice.
Haley wouldn't play the French.
I think the French, out of all these games now, I think the French have actually only won once, and that was when I played in the third game when we were doing the scenario on the bridge. So out of 6 games, the French have only had 1 victory so far. Right. What's going on here? Right, we've got some here. Ken, are you sure you're not in my comments again?
No.
Are you in my comments again, mate?
No.
Are you sure?
100%.
So they okay.
Why?
Because the questions you just quoted are exactly the same questions that are here.
Oh. No, I don't think so. No.
No? Okay. And basically everyone seems to be praising Haley on the fact that she'll play war games. And
yeah, but the people actually know.
Steve's too quiet.
Yeah, but the people what did he say? Dom said what?
Dom said I'm too loud, Steve's too quiet, so I'm going to turn Steve back up to.
All right.
There we go.
Try that.
How's that?
I just can't win.
No, you just can't win, Steve. Keep it like that, Steve. We'll work around you, mate.
I've just got Martin. He's very loud. That's not something I hear very often.
You were when we were recording.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was when we were recording. How's that sound now? Right, I'm playing around with all these little levels on here. All right.
If not, there's another.
Haley's just written a comment. He just looks sad. Then I did really enjoy it. Is that about the 95th?
It's about why I started playing.
Oh, why I started playing. So basically, Haley's saying she started playing war games because she likes making me look sad.
No, because you looked sad.
Oh, because I look sad.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought just because you
wanted to make you look sad.
You did make me
look.
Oh dear. So yeah, it was a good game, wasn't it? If anyone's not seen it, go and have a look at it. I'll tell you what. I'll put a little link there. It is worth having a watch.
It was good fun.
It's quite long, so you might need a cup of tea.
It's nothing compared to my battle reports. I wish I could skip I wish I could make my bolt action ones that length, but it's impossible because you can't skip any phases in bolt action. That's the problem.
Well, no, you can't, can you? You'd be. That's it. Like when I did my Dead Man's Hand ones, it was all over. You know, you just couldn't. Because everything is due about what dice is coming out. The initiative order is random, so
yeah.
you don't have like a phase of movement like you do in Black Powder. But yeah, it's quite hard.
But yeah,
what's everyone working on tonight?
Funny enough, Napoleonics.
Oh, you got some, have you?
Yeah, funny enough, yeah. 6 battalions worth now, for God's sake. Well, that's
Bloody
just
hell.
well, that's just French. That's just French. I've got bloody British down there as well. How many battalions of British have I got? 1, 2, 3. 3 battalions of British as well.
There's 9 more here, dude. 9 more that can be
Oh.
yours.
For just the mere price of $29.99. If they were $29.99, I'd have probably definitely.
I'm struggling with
left
just
them.
my one. I'm struggling with just finishing this one battalion.
Oh no, I did them. Yeah, but remember, Steve, you've done literally all the minis in that box. I've still got half of them to go because I've done 24 men to the battalion.
Oh, right, okay.
Um,
I'm painting the entire box.
I am technically...
Tonight. I'm having a break.
You are.
Tonight I'm having a break from Napoleonic. So I said to Martin, tonight is all about chain of command.
Hey.
And I'm working on some 15mm Germans for my chain of command project.
Very nice. By you, mine.
I've not played it yet. I've not played it yet.
Oh, what, chain of command? No,
Yes.
I'm the same dude. Same.
I've heard. Well, I've sort of had mixed reviews about it. I either seem to really, really like it, or
Really hate it.
don't. Yeah,
It's like
I've never
Marmite.
played it, but I do like Lard. It's because it's Lardy, isn't it? It's Lard rule set. So
It is Lardy, yeah.
and I do like their rule sets and their sort of way of writing. So yeah.
No, that's it. But yeah, what about you, mine? What are you up to?
I'm finishing off these crossbowmen that I started last week because of the good weather and a couple of days I had off last week. I skipped to making terrain. I wanted to make the most of it, so I was working on these little 1x1 terrain blocks.
Yeah.
So I'm back on these now, and I'm gonna get these crossbows finished because they are my last outstanding Wars of the Roses unit, and then I have none left. So I'll have to buy some new ones, and then I'm ready to sort of get into my project next month, which is my Carthaginians. So so, which I am excited about. So
well,
especially because I've decided after much umming and ahhing, but chatting to a few people, I'm going with a winter theme. I am going to do it. I'm going to do winter.
Yeah.
I've been sculpting some winter cloaks. There we go. Onto some of these Carthaginians. I know they wouldn't necessarily have had cloaks in the fight, but I wanted to get some tattered cloaks, on the bases, make them look a little bit different. And I'll be doing some other little things too.
Your minis, mate. Your minis.
Exactly. And I think I sent you guys a picture, but I'm basing them 120 by 60.
Yeah, something a bit bigger, innit?
Bit bigger, and so we'll see how that goes. I might decide I hate it, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, you say that, but like what Steve was saying earlier about how I'm going to base my artillery. Well, I'm thinking about doing a big base for all 3, like do a 3-bit battery on one big base, but then do plug pull out, so like I can take and drop them in, so like maybe a grass plug instead. Just take one square battery out, and then do it like that, so I can have like a diorama-y sort of thing. Maybe do it like that, so you can use them individually, or if you're going to use all 3 batteries, then do them together. But like you've got Ancients next month.
Yeah.
I'm doing Napoleonics starting from now. So this next however long till the end of October. So Napoleonic October over on Miniature Wargaming Warriors.
I was thinking about that. What I'm doing for October is going to be called Locktober. So all I'm going to be working on is Napoleonic French and World War II French. So kind of a French theme going on throughout October.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I really like the idea of these like month at a time sort of project things because it's long enough to keep you interested and it's long enough to get a lot done, but not too long that you get bored. So I won't do any Napoleonics in November, so I'll do something else. So I quite like that idea.
Restless Kaiser from Morning for Advantage has just said it in my chat. Well, I'll just reach over and get, because I had a little thing arrive in the post. Hang on.
I know what this is.
So someone's just suggested. There we go. So Miller has sent me this, which is the pike and shot for King and Country starter. I think my wife wants a word with him. So it looks like I'm going to be doing English Civil War.
Or did he, Haley? Or did he send it? Or did Martin pay the money to send it? Dig you a hole, mate.
No, I didn't. We were having a chat before, and I think it's because I said I went into Warlord Games and I nearly walked away with it before, or a Battalion box, and
yeah.
And he said, "Oh, there's gonna be something coming in the post." So I imagined like maybe it just be like I sent you an Archer.
Yeah.
And this parcel arrived. It's just awesome. I mean, it's such a good set, but I don't know. It's quite cool for me because I don't know a lot about a bit like you, Ken. I think with Napoleonics, you're learning about the military structure and stuff as you go, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas I know a fair bit about the actual history and the political history and everything with you know Cromwell and the Rump Parliaments and Charles and all of that. But I don't actually know a lot about the army structure, so it's going to be quite interesting for me. So
something new, isn't it?
Be a little, something new.
Don't forget that special link I sent you a little while ago that no one's allowed. You remember that link for research?
Oh yes.
Yeah, don't forget to look on that link. Well, I remember to remind you because
have I stumbled onto the wrong kind of channel here?
It's a secret link. Dear. But yeah, no, that's really cool. And I'll tell you what though, I will mention it because I can't believe it happened. I actually got Laura to appear in a video. How that happened, I have no idea how. But she actually agreed. She was like, "Yeah, we can go to Warwick Castle," and I was like, "All right, but I need to do some filming, and you might end up in the video." And she was like, she looked at me like this, like funny, and then went, "Yeah, all right." As long as I haven't got to say anything, I got her to say 3 words. It was great.
Did you get her to sign some kind of disclaimer first?
Yeah. It was quite funny. No, it was good. We had a really good time there, actually, to be fair.
It looked lovely, the photos you sent. We've been to Warwick, but it was quite a few years ago.
Oh, just remembered. I need to eat my pudding. But yeah, no, it was a really good day. Yeah, very much. Sorry about this, guys. I forgot. I've got my my Weight Watchers chocolate brownie pudding. Very professional. But I've been looking forward to this all day.
Is that offsetting the kebab that you had around here on Friday?
I've lost mine since I saw you. I put on like 1.5 kilos after that day because of all the beer and yeah, I did. Honest to God, I did. But yeah, I've lost it though. I'm down 2 kilos now. So, honest to God, my body must have gone into a massive shock. Like, what the fuck is this you're feeding me? What are you actually?
Said you wanted a large. You said I'll have a large.
Yeah.
Said, you want a large? You said yes.
No, but you knew how big the large were. You didn't tell me the large could feed a whole village. Jesus, massive thing they were.
It's a good van. What can I say? The height of luxury around it.
Yeah. Yes.
We had a question, didn't we? Didn't we to answer from Peter?
Yes, we probably did actually.
Where is it?
We had 2. We had one from Peter, one from Miller.
Should call it Frogtober. Oh, Steve Reese says you should call it Frogtober. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just not putting that in any of my YouTube videos. Otherwise, I'll probably be done for promoting all kinds of kind of hate speech and stuff like that.
I'm doing British as well, aren't I?
You are. I did a thing where I named all my. We were doing a battle and we actually bothered to name our colonels and everything. We named all of our French officers after decent French wine, which we looked up on the internet because we couldn't actually think of any ourselves because we're not that fine. And then we named all. We're trying to think of something for the British officers, so we named them all after pies. So we had like Colonel Gingster. Colonel Crocker.
Kind of rogue something.
Yeah. I found Peter's question. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go on, Martin. Yeah.
So what he said. So what does the panel think will be the next big development in wargaming? Rather in the vein that when we thought we had enough, along comes contrast paints. Will it be Will it be in scenery, auto production of AARs, or games over a carrier like Skype or Zoom? What do you reckon?
Ooh.
I was thinking about this. I think it's going to be something to do with like 3D printing. I know it's really, really popular and big at the moment, but it's largely, vehicles and the like and scenery. I think it's going to get to a point where people are going to be fielding entire armies of really detailed, completely 3D printed figures that they've done themselves. Like imagine being able to print an entire army at home.
I reckon 5 years that'll be the case. Maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, depend on how technology comes along, because of all this COVID stuff, but it slows it down.
But some people are looking at colour 3D printing already, aren't they? Hero Forge did that, do colour 3D printing, or they did a Kickstarter, didn't they, for that, and it didn't actually look half bad.
I like painting though. That's the thing. I still like painting.
Oh God, no! I couldn't use. I mean, I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks back about using figures you haven't painted yourself. I'd still like to paint them.
Yes.
But I just think that the kind of the access to the files and the sheer amount. I mean, I'm not just talking historical games. It's going to be, I think it'll be across all types of games. We've got historical, sci-fi, big games, small games. I just think that
Games Workshop will lead the way with it as well. I reckon Games Workshop.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, let's face it, they've got a few quid for research and development, haven't they? So I imagine, I definitely agree with you there, mate.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they will end up leading the way with it, and I reckon they have like a purchase catalogue where you'll get a certain amount of print. So like you'll pay per print that you can have of that STL file or something. Yeah. So if you need 30 guardsmen, you pay so much. So it's not just buy the print and keep it. It'll be buy the print for however many copies of it you want.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a month, like a monthly thing. Maybe they'll just make a white dwarf mini subscription per month. So you'll just get like some kind of exclusive model each month connected to what's in White Dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that could be.
How much? So, how much 3D printed stuff are you using right now in games and in general, sort of painting and modeling?
Not much.
Some scenery. My Lord of the Rings scenery is 3D printed. Loads of ruins. I've started using. If you talk to people who do 3D prints, either on eBay or on, if you contact any of these companies, they'll have a lot of like rubbish prints, like offcuts, and they'll sell you like bags and stuff, and they're quite good for ruins. So you can just snap off bits. So they might just sell you like a bag for £5 just full of like misprints. Because if there is any bits that don't look great, you can just cover it in dirt. But I contacted one and got like a bag full, and I use them on bases for my Lord of the Rings stuff. So I paint them up to look like the walls of Gondor, so they're all white and that. But it only cost me like £5, and I got a big bag of them. So so that's quite cool. And
that's really good.
It's quite, because I basically sat and thought about it. I just wondered, I was like, there must be, because my mate's got a 3D printer, and he had a couple of a few duff ones or ones that didn't come out great, and I was like, well, and he used them as scenery, so it just got me thinking, I bet they've got it. I wonder what they do with it, and I couldn't find anyone who was actually selling their offcuts, if you like. So so I've just emailed them.
Yeah, you just sent them That's it.
But no, I don't think I've got any 3D printed models at all. It's mostly scenery stuff.
I've got a couple Dom sent me. He sent me some dwarfs that I need to do. So yeah, but I think the smaller scale stuff, like I'm going to be using it for 6mm, 100%. So when I do my ACW stuff to print out buildings, because now I've got a scale, ACW, I'll be able to have whole like little towns. It'd be brilliant. Really quick, really simple. really looking forward to doing that. And also, if I want ACW minis as well, I can get a 15mm CAD file and just scale it down to 6mm size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can still have a bit of detail on it and try it like that. I think it'll work quite well, to be fair, with the resin. I'm quite looking forward to doing that. But again, I cleaned it off the other day actually because I haven't used it in ages. I cleaned it up and it's cleaned up fine, so I'm good to just hit the print button and go again. But I don't want to do it in a minute because the problem is you start printing, you end up with a load of models that you're not going to paint right there and then, so there's just no point. You might change your mind, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
But isn't that I just had a thought while you've been saying this. Have you finished all those models in those brown paper bags?
No. They're still in there. I picked one out. I need to pick one out actually because I've actually done the Lord of the Rings ones. I've done Sharky and all that. They're done. So I need to get another bag out. Cheers for reminding me, but I forgot about that. I generally did. I can't even remember what's in. See, that's the good thing about I can't remember what I put in there now. There's a load of fantasy stuff, but they're in there. I'll just pick them out as I go through.
See, I was thinking back on Peter's question, 'cause obviously 3D printing is a big one, but I was trying to think if is there a game where there's been a decent app integration done yet? Because there was one for War Machine, and that's a bit buggy, and obviously there's the I know there's things like Battlescribe and unofficial, but they're on this bit. Is there a game where properly integrated?
There is one for a board game that I play, Nemesis. You ever played Nemesis or heard of Nemesis?
No, I've seen the Kickstarter.
So it's basically Nemesis Alien. Yes. And yeah, that's got a good app to it, but it's also got 3D printed miniatures, which is pretty cool, and they're really good design. I haven't got them handy, but I'll try and get some pictures and send to you. But yeah, no, they're really nice. But yeah, 3D printing, I can see it happening, but not for a while, maybe 5 years or so. I don't think it's never going to happen because you never say never in this world. But yeah, until it gets to the detail that I can print out by just pressing a button and they look and feel like a Perry sculpt, then I'll still buy Perry's miniatures.
What about metals? Like, someone actually said that just in here. Like, yeah, Hanger Flying said he still likes the weight of a metal miniature. So do I. Sometimes it's just, it's just nice to have a metal mini.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's ever going to disappear.
Well, my views on metal minis I used to despise them. I used to utterly just avoid using metal minis. But since I did those conversions a couple of weeks back, yeah, they definitely they changed my mind. I always thought there was. I mean, there's some you just can't do anything with. The poses are just too kind of locked in. You can't really, have at it with a craft knife. But if you can look at a certain miniature and think, well, if I just take that arm off there, or reposition that arm, or reposition that head, it will work. And it's given me some really, really unique looking miniatures. So, yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards being more accepting of metal miniatures.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, Steve. Like you say, it's like, kit bashing in its basic form. It's like what I did the other day, and I said to you, I told Martin about it before the stream, is that I didn't have a standard bearer for this thing, so I took a lance from the old cavalry set I've got and using that as a standard bearer for these Italians. Yeah. And I just thought, why not? It's a basic form of kit bashing, but it's kit bashing, isn't it?
For me, it's always about. If I haven't got it, I've been in the hobby long enough. I'm going to have spares all over the place. It's the challenge of going out and finding those bits and pieces to make what you need, rather than going out and just buying it. It's sometimes I think I like the challenge. I like the seeing what I can do with what I've got in bits boxes and on the shelves.
It's nice when someone says to you as well, I guess, "Oh, where'd you get that mini from?" I kit bashed it. It's my only one of it. And then the bugger goes, "Well, can you make me one?" No.
Well, that happened to me when we were in the middle of lockdown. That Major Koenig sniper.
Someone asked where you got
that
it from.
I kit bashed and did that. I put it on Facebook, and some dude contacted me on Facebook and just said, "Look, will you be able to make one for me?" And I was quite taken aback by it, actually. But no, it's things like that where people recognise that it's a completely unique miniature that no one else is really going to have.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
there's definitely that element to it.
For the $29.99, Steve today will make you
A base tank.
A base tank, yeah. For that special price of $29.99.
They're taking they're winding. I think they're trying to wind Haley up in the comments. They're saying, do you know that Martin's bought a 3D printer? I can wholeheartedly say that I have not bought a 3D printer because I just had to buy a new TV. And
No, he didn't. No, but he has put an offer in on mine, Haley. So just be careful.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do to me?
Psych you out for your next game.
I don't need psyching out for my what against. If Dom gets his way, it's going to be me and you against her.
We're fucked. If we lose that, we'll just have to give up YouTube.
I just thought of another one.
Let Haley take it over.
Yeah, people are saying
So
yes to come. Whatever happened to him?
Another one for Peter's question is, do you think there'll be a return, or sort of the one that prompted me is that I saw on Facebook that they're looking to sort of remold and re-release Hero Quest.
Yep.
Really?
I saw. Yeah. They got like 20 hours to go, and they're announcing something, didn't they?
Okay.
So is there going to be, I mean, I love retro gaming, and I've always said the only version of 40K that I will ever go back and play is first edition because it's completely insane.
What Road Trader? Yeah, you can like create like mutants and shit on a random chart, and yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Oh, the rules are cracking. But is there going to be a yearning to go back to those sort of the halcyon days of your gaming, your formative years of gaming, like Hero Quest and Space Crusade and that ilk?
Everyone should play it. That's what we should do. That we should do like a little tabletop simulator or something like Hero Quest.
But aren't they re-releasing Fantasy? They are, aren't they? Old World.
We don't know what it's going to be,
and it's not for a while. I think they said between 3 and 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd love to get the opinion of that bloke that filmed himself burning his high elf army. I wouldn't mind getting his opinion on it being re-released.
But yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah, no, 3D printed stuff, definitely. I think that was a good answer to Peter's question.
What have people said down here? They've said Hangar Flying has said with the prevalence of smartphones and tablets, he thinks the path is app-assisted war games for casualties and status tracking. We've got
I hope not. I just put some casualty markers.
They're just good for decorating bases as well. Miller said as well, if you could print them fully painted, don't you think that'll take out the best part of painting? Yeah, it's basically I think what we said, wasn't it? It would.
Yeah, it'd ruin it for me.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many play. Is there a point in the hobby where I think we're just gonna not stop, but I don't know. There's probably only so far you can develop it, right? Surely. I mean, ultimately, how many ways can you play a game? So I'm going to say that now, and then there'll be something on Kickstarter that'll have some new innovation that'll.
Maybe a go along the world of VR, mate.
Yeah.
Because obviously you get tabletop sim on VR, but being able to play with Steve, even though he's all that distance away on VR, and we're both sharing the table, or we're all sharing a table, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
That will be pretty cool.
We can all sit down and have a game of something, but we're at different parts of the country. It avoids those long drives to Cambridgeshire.
He drove back at midnight.
Yeah. Yeah. But what time did I get in? I got in at 3:00. Yeah,
Did she know you'd had the kebab?
Yes, she smelled it. She smelled it, and I'm not going to say how. Dear.
Deary me.
3 days, Martin. 3 days I've had irritable sort of bowels. Cheers for that.
Well, it's not like I forced you to eat it, is it?
You went, is this kebab, Ken? I was like, oh, that sounds good, Martin. And you were like, yeah, it is good. And then you didn't tell me how big it was.
Good. And then you said, I said, do you want a small or a large? You said, I'll have a large.
To be fair, it wasn't a good. To be fair, it wasn't a good idea smothering it in garlic mayo either. That was a schoolboy. And onions. And I had onions with it. Oh dear. But yeah, no. I'll tell you what though. I've got someone. We got the Toxic Steve has said U-Boat's got a good app, which it has. Yeah, you ever heard of U-Boat, the board game?
I have. I did consider getting it.
You got it, did you?
No, I considered it.
Yeah, I wanted to get it as well. I've been looking for it as well, and damn. I just realised the board game actually that it's miniature based as well, Martin. Lord of the Rings, War of the Ring.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Massive game.
Do you know what? I looked at that. I did look at it, and the thing was that it didn't seem to be actually sort of getting regularly supported, and I don't know because there weren't many expansions sort of out for it. So and I've played a lot of Fantasy Flight games before, and there's obviously only so much content you can get out of what they initially release.
Yeah, well, they've released 3 expansions for it.
Are those not the what? You mean figure expansions? Or
yeah,
campaign expansions.
Figure and campaign.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I've got the 2nd edition of it. I'll have to bring it up. We'll have to have a game.
Yeah,
it's an all-day gamer. But yeah, there we go. There's another reason to come up. But yeah, no, I was just thinking of like subject matter for this week. I don't know. Did anyone have anything in mind they wanted to speak about? Because if not, I've got a couple of ideas.
We've got Miller's question. If you want to give that a quick whirl.
Oh, go on, Steve. What are you going to say, mate?
I was going to say, if anyone was in the chat last week, Martin made a recommendation to listen to a band called Forlorn Hope.
Yeah.
That do Napoleonic metal. I would absolutely recommend it to anyone. The album it's absolutely fantastic. It's not normally a type of thing that I'd listen to. I prefer my metal a bit more on the old angry, put my head through a wall type scale. So this was kind of different. But I was sat there listening to them painting Napoleonics, and it was a good moment. So I would highly recommend them to anyone.
Yes, check them out. They're growing as well. So the more people that go and listen to them, the better.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's always a bonus.
They've got they also do their own version of Over the Hills and Far Away, which is actually really good. Yes. It's really good because they're not just doing a tired old folk, like they're not just copying exactly what the sort of folk version. They're a little twist on it, which is good. And there is a song in there about the rifles.
Of course there is.
So, of course there is.
I'll tell you what though, Terry Head has just said, "Hi guys, I remember that when 10 or 20 of us used to set up a campaign which took weeks of playing, and moves would be done over the phone or by email." And I said, "I'd take my hat off to you, sir. I'd take my hat off."
That's dedication. That
I would love to do a big old campaign. I've never done one, but I want to. Forlorn Hope was fantastic from Steve Reese. But yeah, go on. What you said about Peter's? What? Sorry.
What?
Oh, Miller's question.
Oh, Miller's question.
Oh, Miller's question. Hang on, I'll just grab it. He always comes up with something really good that makes you think. Hang on. So I've got to scroll back our conversation. We're having a bit of a conversation about what I can build my English Civil War stuff as.
Lloyd. Oh! I've just thought of a fantastic topic for this week. After you've done that question.
Yeah, I'm
Martin,
slightly
Martin
worried
and
now.
Steve.
That was
Martin and Steve.
that was a that was a worrying laugh there, Ken. A worrying laugh.
It's a bit.
That
It's a
does
bit of a
confirm it.
controversial one, but I'm sure people
Oh God.
people want to know.
Is this
Ma-
one you've just thought up?
No, we spoke about it, Martin. You were in
Oh,
the
what,
chat.
the one I? Oh, the one I
Yeah,
suggested.
very
okay.
very similar, but for a
Right,
different.
Okay. Hang on a second. Hang on. Da-da-da. Okay, so here we go. So it's kind of similar, sort of on the subject of what he did before about like if you could witness any battle, but he's kind of like thrown it a bit more personal. So if you could choose throughout history and sort of army and be a part of the army, would you want to? Yeah. If you could choose throughout history and the army and be a part in the army, you would want to be have fought in. What would it be and why? Would you fight in the front ranks of a Viking shield wall in an English field, or the mighty phalanxes of Alexander in Asia, or the fog and smoke in a French column? Again, not asked in a sort of a love of violence kind of a way, but if you were going to, basically, if you were going to take part in a period of history and you were going to be a soldier, what period would it be? I put forward that Ken would be a drummer boy at the front of a French column.
Drummer boy. I'd be. I don't know. A sapper. If I'm going to be anyone, I'd be a sapper with my burly beard.
So you'd be, and you'd be the guy with the axe that's banging on the door, and the first one through the door, and the first one to get the volley.
Yeah, I play drums as well, but that's even more funnier. I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably World War One maybe. Just to like the start of World War One when Belgium and all that kicked off before like the trenches and stuff, because everyone would just to see what a challenge it actually was. First bit of proper like modern warfare, wasn't it, with machine guns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that'd probably be mine.
Okay.
Just something a bit different.
What about you, Steve?
I was gave a bit of thought, and I was trying to balance it about how I know you said how interesting. I don't think war is ever interesting, especially if you're in the middle of it. But what you would see and experience, and how historically significant it would be that you'd get to experience. So I came up with, after reading that book I just read about Waterloo, there was some sort of personal anecdotes in there, and just for being in the middle of that battle, to experience it, to have the ground shaking as cavalry barreled past, I think that would be something I don't think anyone who was there would ever forget what they saw or what they experienced that day. Another one would probably be, I couldn't decide whether sort of the American Civil War, because it was so again that Ken mentioned the technology. So it was
pinnacle,
they were moving away. They were moving away from that whole black powder era into sort of the more like Gatling guns, more modern weapons. It was sort of one of the very first photographed wars as well. So I just think it would have been sort of momentous. And again, you'd have seen some stuff that you clearly wouldn't ever forget. So for me, it was more the what you would see, what you would experience, what you'd smell, just the whole range of senses. But yeah, I'd go for Waterloo and the American Civil War.
Okay.
What about you, mine?
I don't know. I've actually found this really, really hard, because I was sitting there thinking, I was trying to think of something like it's all pretty horrible. I was trying to think of one where I'd be like, oh, that's all right, because I could have just sat at the back. But I don't really think there is one. I guess if I was going to be part of an army or a period that I'm interested in, I'd probably go to the medieval period. I probably would say the Wars of the Roses, just because of how the armies were constructed at that point, would be more loyal to their lords than they were to the king. And you have the sort of like you're really at the start of that change towards gunpowder and pike blocks, and you're starting to see these new developments in armor and things like that. Also, if you were going to be a commoner, I mean, obviously the Wars of the Roses wasn't great for commoners, but it was. I think if it was, if you're a member of the nobility, if you're on the losing side, it didn't generally go very well for you.
It's
You know,
better.
normally at that
It's
point-
better than the 100 Years' War, wouldn't it? Being probably then as a commoner, but
Yeah, well,
War of
you
the
could
Roses.
expect to be ransomed if you were in the 100 Years' War. If you're a noble and you were captured, you'd expect to be ransomed. That just didn't happen. You would generally be executed or attainted, and like your whole family name like ruined, and yeah, it wasn't great. So that, and yeah, I'd say probably the Wars of the Roses, because I think there's just a lot of the very interesting developments that are made as you come up towards sort of the Renaissance. So there we go. That's my answer.
got people in the chat here going. Terry Head's putting ECW. I don't think a lot of people understand the whole war and the outcome from it all. Today's political system traced back to history to this time. And Steve Reese has put, after doing it in the army, I don't want to do it again. But Spitfire pilot in the battle, fucking hell, yeah, I should have said that. I was thinking more land. Spitfire pilot in the Battle of Britain, yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I changed my mind. Probably that.
Tom the Wargamer has a brilliant one. What about just being in the Home Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Nick, what have we got here? Oh, there's been quite a bit here. Nick Games says there's a lot of opinion of where you'd be the drummer boy. So they're suggesting that you'd be the drummer boy in the Forlorn Hope, or that you'd be the one putting out the markers for the range shooting when they fight the Zulus, when they put the markers out to see how many yards they're at.
That's a valuable job. It's a valuable.
They send out to do that.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
The Emu War. Miller said he'd want to be an Ironside. Bill Roy said the Emu War, and he'd choose to be. My chat's gone weird. Hang on a minute. An Aussie sniper, and yeah, that was quite a good question actually. It's a bit thought provoking.
Yeah, a bit different, isn't it? I've got, here we go. This is going to set the chat off. Martin's one would set the chat off more, but we refer to the English Civil War as the first Civil War. You get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I just remember what you said. Although the English Civil War is like
is it the first English Civil War? When would you guys say the first English Civil War was? This is the question.
What was that battle? I'm not too down with my sort of Dark Age history, but it was he was called Stephen, and he was fighting against his sister.
When you was it?
That's the one, yes. Yeah. It's the only reason I remember it. Yes, that was. It wasn't a civil war as such, but it was quite a large sort of internal conflict. Imagine back then.
Yeah.
Back then, I think there was many. I think internal conflicts was just sort of summed up that period in history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's as I said. The thing is there's so many, especially in the medieval. Basically, the Plantagenets just murder and fight each other for the best part of 300 years. And that was all civil war. I mean, Richard Lionheart, he fought with his brother against his father, Henry II. You got Edward III against Edward II.
Do you not think it's funny though that how we refer to the English Civil War as the English Civil War though, isn't it?
But the English Civil War was between Parliament and the King, and basically and Parliament representing the people. So by that point, you've got like a constructed governmental system where the Commons have supposedly have a voice. So yeah, I don't know, but even then, the Civil War is actually what the what's called the War of Three Kingdoms. You got the Bishops' War, the First, Second, and Third English Civil Wars. The other one that I can't remember that someone's probably in the comments is now going to tell me. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I guess it just comes down to when you think of when England is really a country, because
when is it formed?
It's 1603 when James the what was he, James VI of Scotland becomes James I of England. So that's when the two kingdoms are effectively united. So
yeah,
before that, it's England, Wales, Ireland, and France, isn't it? That they proclaim themselves kings of, even up until.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying to you when I was like, we were having this conversation. I was saying, well, technically Henry V was dealing with a civil war because technically the King of France wasn't a king, was he? He was a rebel apparently, according to Henry. According to Henry, he was a rebel, not actually the king. So they're his subjects. But you had a better one, mate. You had the best, and I want you to say it as well.
I will. What I was saying is Rob Jones has just said he'd want to be at Agincourt. There you go. So he could witness the arrow storm. As long as I was on the other end of it. Well, sorry, not
as long as I was English.
As long as I'm firing the arrow or behind,
as long as I'd like to be an independent bystander, just observing the carnage. As long as I'm not an arrow. As long as I'm an arrows fired.
There you go. You could be a herald, Steve. You could be a herald.
A herald.
Yes.
Taking news of the battle. Go and do the negotiations.
You always respect the other side's herald. So the English would have had one, the French would have had one, and they would have just literally stood next to each other during the battle and just watched it.
Yeah.
See, I'm down with that. As long as people aren't firing things at me and trying to hack bits off me. Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's probably the cushtiest job in the medieval period, being a herald.
Unless your lord loses, yeah, I'd imagine I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess, diplomatic immunity, isn't it? But so it's all good until the person you're fighting doesn't care.
Yeah,
and you've got to ride up to them and say, yeah, we want you to surrender.
Yeah,
and then okay.
We just surrender. Please don't hit me with that mace. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah. Leslie said you'd just in relation to that last one, you'd have to decide when England and its government then started. So when do you think of England as a country? As a formed unit, I guess.
Formed thing, yeah, true. But go on, Martin, do the one that you had.
So I said. We'll see what people think in the comments.
He was stirring the pot. That's what he was doing.
There was about 20. There's about 20 people watching. So, which civil war is more interesting from the wargaming perspective? The English Civil War or the American Civil War? Go.
It's blatantly the ACW, isn't it? American Civil War every day.
I'm going to have to agree with Ken on this one. I would say, yeah, I find it more interesting.
I was right the other day. Yes.
See, I find it really hard because you say there's a lot of developmental leaps in the American Civil War, but then the American Civil War, it's very different. I don't know. There's
the American Civil War, you get rid of the American Civil War. You get the Emancipation Proclamation, so we're no more slaves and all that. A lot happens with it. And to game as well, you've got you've basically got Napoleonic sort of style of fighting, but with better guns.
Well, not really. They didn't have any kind of line fight. They were firing at will in their regiment.
Yeah,
really short ranges. They didn't have the well. I'm going to get flamed for this probably, but I would say that they didn't have the discipline. That they had in the Napoleonic period.
Oh, Jesus!
Well, no, not if it's like that. I mean, I don't know. But then also, did not installing that discipline give them an advantage? Because they allowed them to be a little bit more free? I don't know. I'm gonna get so. So Leslie says English Civil War. Tom the Wargamer says English Civil War. Nick Game says any war that had buff coats. So basically, the First War and English Civil War. I would say the thing is that you say that, but then also the English Civil War from that produced our whole system of government.
Yeah, look how shit it is.
The basis for it. Well, yeah, but there's no way to blame it. I mean, but you've got the English Civil War isn't just one war; it's about 5. That's all just encapsulated within this one term. So it's actually the War of Three Kingdoms, isn't it? That's the you know, and then you've just got all this sort of like back and forth, and then obviously you got the only time that we executed a king.
Yes.
That didn't, you know, even after the American Civil War, didn't you know, they that you know, that
There's a
didn't happen
film.
to any, well, as far as I know,
Oh.
any
No.
Confederate generals.
In Oliver Cromwell film, I've seen it in school back in the day.
The really historically inaccurate one.
Is it? Yeah, that one.
The one with Obi-Wan Kenobi is Charles I.
The really old one. It's old.
It's not that old. It's 1970s. Not that old.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's got Dumbledore as Oliver Cromwell and Obi-Wan Kenobi as Charles I.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what another good thing about the American Civil War? It has the most remarkable collection of facial hair in military history.
That's very true.
It does.
That's very true.
They were cultivated. They were cultivating some proper facial, creative facial fuzz in those days. It was yeah, I was always very impressed by the amount of facial hair.
It was a proper man beard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I feel like this is one that Dom really needs to kind of weigh in on, because I know that he probably knows a lot more about both periods. I'm not.
He's probably watching this going, you gits, you're gonna wait until next week, couldn't you? No, you did. Yeah, fucking. He's probably there. He's probably there in Somerset, going with his cider, loving it, and he's probably swearing at us, or he hasn't watched it yet, and he's gonna swear at us.
I do find the American Civil War it's really hard. It's exactly, that's why I said it. I wasn't going to ask this question, so you sod.
So what was I going to do? I was blatantly going to drop you right in the shit, wasn't I?
You wait. But yeah, what have we got?
Terry Ed's put it, ECW and ACW were just slaughter. They weren't they? Really, it was just like
basically, yeah,
massacre, wasn't it?
Basically, we've got Leslie said, "Quite frankly, the Americans never had a king to execute." It's very true. Miller said, "I've got the long hair of a cavalier." That's true. That's true. I never. Do you know what? And I know this is always, but I will never forget. There's an episode of Red Dwarf. If anyone watches that, one of the earlier ones, where one of the characters, Rimmer, says, "Why is it in history that the side with the short haircuts always wins?"
Yeah.
I always thought that was wicked, and you just have to look at it.
Was it 1-0 to the Pudding Bowls?
Yeah, that's it. Nick Games said the Great War had some great moustaches and beards, and then Leslie puts forward the facial hair in the American Civil War is because of the lack of hot water in the US.
Could boil it on a fire. But yes. But no,
it's not. Yeah.
No. It's just one of them, innit? Just get the chat going, innit? Get it going. Get it warmed up.
Get it going. But the chat seems to be on the side of the ECW.
I would like to think, because a lot of us are English, so you never know. Your American followers might disagree.
See, I was thinking that when you think about the English of war, my family history, I think I'm only English by about 2 or 3 generations. My family are from Scotland and Ireland, so yeah. I mean, when it was all kicking off in the 1600s, I imagine my ancestors weren't involved.
No, wouldn't it be not? I'll tell you what. Wouldn't it be cool to know though? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be that? There's a question for you. Wouldn't it be freaking cool to know who your relatives were back in like the 100 Years' War period, or War of the Roses period? What they did. How awesome would that be to know?
It is until you find that they were like strung up for like chicken rustling or something.
Yeah.
And your mate will do it. He goes, "Oh yeah, look, I'm related to Warwick the Kingmaker. Brilliant. Who are you related to?" I'm related to Ned from Ely, who got killed for trying to steal a cow. It's, I mean, the thing is, like, you can actually go quite a long way back, can't you? There's quite a lot of records. I remember Medieval Wargamer put up a thing recently about tracing family and people in the who had fought in the 100 Years' War in certain, because we have the records of certain people who were recruited into archer companies.
Yeah.
They kept all their names, and so they could draw pay, and those records you can check out. I'm just thinking though what you're saying about Ireland. I mean, obviously this is the thing, isn't it? We always think, I don't, but I don't know. Maybe people think the English Civil War was actually just, confined to England, but it stretched. We had, Scotland, you had Montrose and the Coventers, you had the Irish stuff that then Cromwell obviously went to Ireland. That weren't great.
No, it wasn't good.
You got the other two civil wars. Well, the first English Civil War, the second English Civil War, but before that, you got the Bishops' War as well, and it all comes under this big umbrella term. So I don't know. But then, did you guys in school ever learn about the English Civil War?
A little bit. A little bit.
No.
I learned a little. I learned a little bit, probably about a month.
No, we didn't.
That's what I knew about Cromwell film.
That's weird. I hate it when they do that. We were made to watch Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
With Kate Blanchett, which is again just like just from a historical perspective, not going back into the film thing. It's not great. If you're going to show kids it for their GCSEs,
make sure it's freaking right.
Yeah. What was the other one I was going to?
It's just reminded me of an interesting thing. You're on about relatives, tracking down where they were.
Yeah.
My regular gaming opponent Ian, we first met in 2004 through playing Flames of War.
Right.
And it turns out that both our granddads served on the same ship in World War II. And they were both Scottish.
They probably knew each other.
So we always think, is it strangely, could they have known each other?
Yeah, of course they would have done if they were Scottish.
That would,
especially if there weren't many Scots on the crew.
It would have been really freaky though, 70 years later, their grandsons meet.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
And then play war games.
Yeah. And then play war games.
They went to actual war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
No, I was just saying in the chat. Leslie said, just very simply, they learned history, but the school system has gone to pot. The level of historical knowledge that kids have now is
shocking,
horrific in my opinion.
I even asked my missus about some sort of history and things like that, and she don't really know half of it. I teach her a lot. Like you should know a little bit about your history, just even a little bit, just basic bits. But history, you had to take it, didn't you? Yeah. Well, I left school 13 years ago, and for history then it was optional for GCSE, so I took it for GCSE. But if you didn't, you just stopped learning about it in year 9, didn't you? So that was it.
I did history at A level. Modern political, and it was because when I was at school, we didn't have history per se. We had like history and geography crammed into what were called humanities at the time. So we didn't have set history or geography lessons.
Right.
But I've always liked history. So when I got the opportunity to do A level history, I absolutely took it.
Yeah, all over it, sort of thing. Yeah. I kind of regret not doing history at A level, to be honest with you. I wish I did do it. But I only did 1 year of college anyway, and didn't go to uni. I did the other route. I went apprenticeships in the end. After a long while.
Miller said he shows you right there. His apprentice is beyond dumb. So I guess they're having to chat about or he's trying to chat about history, and it's deaf ears.
No, that's it. I love. That's what I mean. It's just one of them things, isn't it? You've got to be the certain type of person to like documentaries. I find as well. Oh God, I wish I could. Yeah. I could just binge watch documentaries every day. That's what I mean. They should just have a channel on Sky for documentary channel. The history documentary channel. That's all it should show. It shouldn't show anything like that. On this episode of Porn Stars. Fucking porn stars. Fuck off my history channel, you bastards. You're not history. I want stuff like the Battle of Jutland. I want to know that. I don't want to know what this guy brought into Las Vegas. What you want? Oh yeah, I've got you. I've got you. I've got your DVD player here, Rick. How long have you owned it? Who's asking? Who's asking? Oh, go away.
I can honestly say I've never seen this program before.
You've never seen
So
it?
he's doing a pretty good. Oh, what are you doing, Steve? You're just gonna. We found Ken's thing now. He's moved on from base tanks. I'm gonna find you a Porn Stars T-shirt and send it to you.
I don't mind the show. Don't get me wrong, but just take it off the History Channel. It's not
The
history.
History Channel hasn't shown anything historical for ages.
I used to love it growing up as a kid when I was like 11 or 12. It used to just be constantly, that's all it was. World War II documentaries or documentaries on the Far East or Middle East and stuff like that, you know? Not nowadays.
No, I think you've really got to go looking for it. That's why sometimes, like that link I sent about, I told you about those Napoleonic documentaries on YouTube. I finally watched them all. It was absolutely brilliant. Just so informative. I know so much more now than I did.
I keep forgetting to watch them, Steve.
Oh, they're brilliant. They're so good. I think I missed one though. I think there was only one episode, or one or two episodes about Spain, or the Peninsula War. The rest were more sort of Russia. I think the Russia one was on for about 45 minutes. But yeah, highly recommended. Really, really well done.
There's I know there's a 3-part one on there that's quite good all about the peninsula. Which is an hour each, which I listened to fairly recently, which I thought was actually pretty good as well. Wargamers Anonymous has popped in. Hello, mate.
All right, mate.
Hang on a second. Oh, and Miller has said he was got to do his history in school. He had an A in all his coursework, and after doing an exam on medical science throughout history in the American West, he ended up with a D. Why couldn't it have been on something interesting? We must be in a similar year because that's what I did.
Did you?
And it was.
I did. Mum was on the Great War. I remember the Second World War. Mine was the Second World War, and I remember it was the History Channel that actually got me through that exam because there was an advert at the time with Winston Churchill quote constantly going on, and it just literally drilled it into my head. And I remember using this quote in my exam.
Really?
Yeah. Honest to God, I used this quote, and I said it's something like, "And Winston Churchill once stated such and such and such and such," and but my teacher got feedback because my exam, my one got like checked, double marked. You know, they used to just pick random ones to, double check sort of thing to see if you got a fair grade.
Yeah.
Well, mine got double checked by my history teacher. And he goes, "You putting that Winston Churchill quote in like you did and how you mentioned it and you went into depth after that. That literally got you an A on your exam." And I was like, "It's a History Channel." And he just burst out. Yeah, he burst out laughing. Okay, so it's the advert on the History Channel.
Yeah, no.
It's so funny. There you go. You got stuffed over.
We've got here. Tom says it's still humanities, but there's separate lessons now for history, geography, and RS. That's true.
RS.
Said, good job
religious studies.
Good job I bought the new TV. It's keeping Haley quiet. Do you hear that, Haley? They want to know if the new TV's keeping you quiet. I can't really say what she said. She'll be back. She's still working on the finishing touches on the from the decorating. While I sit here and do this. Matthew Hogg, it's aliens, people. Yep. Oh, that bloody show on the History Channel, the alien one.
Ancient aliens.
I get so it's become like I do like. I mean, this is awful because fair enough. You believe you. I go to open days and I do talks, and and sometimes we'll just get this question and say, and I'll genuinely say things like, "What do you?" And be nothing to do. I'll be out doing a talk about I don't know, late Iron Age settlement in mid Suffolk, where we find lots of animal butchery or something like that. And then someone will say, "What do I think about the NASCAR lines?" or the chariots of the gods. And it's like, I don't really see how that's relevant to what I'm talking about, because fair enough, it's absolutely 100% up to people what they believe. That's completely fine, but I just don't get the need to sort of bring it to the little talk in the village. What else we got? What else have we got? Wargames Anonymous says it's like Kerrang TV, which barely plays anything metal. Absolutely. Absolutely. I used to remember when it played metal. I went on it briefly, maybe 6 months ago, and I thought that it was the pop channel, basically. And Steve, Bill Roy just said, "What Napoleonic series are we talking about? Any chance you got a link? Can you resend the link to me and I'll post it
if you search for a YouTube channel called Epic History TV.
I'll put that. Search for Epic History TV.
And they've got lots of stuff on. There's loads about Napoleon. They've got a good series on there about Alexander as well.
Okay.
But it's Epic. I think it's called Epic History TV.
There we go. Awesome.
What are people in the chat doing tonight? Are you watching us, or are you just painting, or what are you painting? I know, just be nice to know what everyone's up to at the minute. But I think what you said.
I'm back on the Napoleonics.
The thing is, I'm going to do that. I think this month thing is quite a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that idea, Martin, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
you can get quite a lot done.
Yeah, I said it as like a little challenge to myself, and it's a good way of putting out some themed content, because you can put, for example, if you're doing Napoleonics, I'm sure you'll do a Napoleonic painting video. You could do a Napoleonic history video. You can just put out some themed content and link all the videos. With my Carthaginians, I've got a few things planned that I want to do. It's just a shame I haven't got any Romans at the moment to kind of do a battle report at the end of it, but I'll be getting some Romans at some point, and then I'll do a similar Republican Roman thing. But the thing is, now I've got all these ECW stuff, and I'm now already thinking about next month. So I don't know if I'll do another theme next month, or I want to keep it a little bit looser.
I don't know. I think I might try. I might try up to the end of the year. I might try themes up to the end of the year. See how it goes. Might help me clear a bit of backlog. So I might do. Like I say, I'm doing Napoleonics this month. I might do ACW next month, and maybe World War II the month after.
Yeah.
December.
Do you know what I said I'm painting my bolt action early war French.
Yeah.
Once they're done, can anyone guess what my next bolt action project's going to be?
Early war Germans.
Well, yes, obviously. No, I'm going to be doing. I've decided I'm going to do proper early war Germans as well. So pick up that Blitzkrieg starter box, and then get some really, really small zippy Panzer 1s and 2s.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, I've never painted early war German uniforms before, so it should be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I've got Tom the Wargamer. I don't know if he's taking the mickey, but he's painting some 95th rifles. And then Duncan FX says he's also painting some 95th rifles. So
commission.
Good job. I hope they do better for you than they did for me. In overrated.
It's probably because you never fielded Sean Bean's model because it looks so shit. It does.
They didn't achieve. They achieved nothing. All they achieved was giving you a point. 2 points even. Bill Roy's painting Wars of the Roses. Good man. Me too. And then Miller, funnily enough, has just said, "How's Ken's lucky dip box going with the minis and the little brown packets?" He's going to be doing some more, aren't you?
Prick. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting out the next dip box. Yeah, because I've done the last ones. These French are so good, so easy. These warlord. I'll tell you what. If you're getting into Napoleonics, and it's not a joke here, and you're gonna have a French and you're gonna have a British army, or if you're gonna have French and your mate's gonna have British, get the starter set. Don't go for the Perry straight away. That is the biggest tip I can give you. Don't go for the Perry straight away.
Yeah, get used to the other stuff.
Yeah, because the Perrys were just like the biggest mind screw I've ever had in my life, because there's so many parts and so much goodness on those sprues. I counted over, right? I put all the heads on the miniatures, and guess how many heads I had left over?
I'd imagine quite a few.
I had about 37 heads.
Yeah.
Extra heads, just cause. And I was just like, I was even contemplating putting some of the heads on these, and they were slightly just too small. But if they were a little bit bigger, I'd have done it. But
the parts don't scale well together. But if you put in the men together, I find that they're all right.
They're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Like when we were playing the other day, they looked absolutely fine. You couldn't tell the difference. It was absolutely no dramas whatsoever. But yeah, get the actual second edition box. Go third party retailer, so you get it for £55, and do it like that, because you get enough in there to keep you going. And if you've never painted Napoleonics, it just makes it so much nicer to introduce you to cross belts instead of having instead of having 5 or 6 cross belts like there seem to be on the French Napoleonic set, because I don't know why, but it just does. These with the great coats are just so much easier to pick out and get done. So I definitely recommend getting that 100%.
Yeah, they're definitely a good way to get started. They're a good way of bulking out units as well.
Yes, 100%.
Quite quickly.
100%.
I mean, obviously, you don't get that detail. You don't get the
all the multiple poles. If you just want a marching forward battalion, they're perfect. They are perfect. If you just want to marching straight towards the, with the rifle up, one pose, they're fine, and that's what I want. So I'm quite happy with that. And like what I've done is, because obviously with that set you don't get command with it, and people are probably going, if they're new to it, what is command? I didn't know what it was when people spoke about command, but command's the 6 guys where you get the 2 eagle bearers, the eagle bearer himself, the officer, the sapper, and the drummer boy. So if someone ever refers to command, that's what it is. Or if you're 2nd battalion, you don't have the eagle guard, you just have a couple of fusiliers or voltigeurs or grenadiers, but someone just carrying the standard basically. And like, I've picked this up in a couple of weeks. I'm quite happy with myself in doing it, but like, I know you guys are going to find this really weird. I can't wait to paint these Italians because they're nearly done already.
Yeah.
Because they're all white, I've gone with the easiest regiment I can do. So the 4th regiment. So literally all they are is like round like the chest bits red.
Yeah, they were the ones you used around here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, were they? I wonder why you did them, because they're like the easiest ones, aren't they? They're literally.
I'm doing a whole brigade of them though. So there's not a great, there's some bit. You've got like basically little bits of red on them,
and there's a green bit on the strap on the arm.
Yeah.
And that's it. Literally, that is it. And it's like they are really quick to do. So yeah, they're getting done. Well, but then you've got to do different regiments, haven't you? So you've got to do the 4th, then you've got to do another one and another one. But I'll tell you what, those flags you said about were really good. Really, really good
GMB.
Flags. Yeah. Really, really good.
I'm really pleased because I've looked on there and he does English Civil War. So I'll be using his stuff for English Civil War as well.
Oh. Can't knock that, can you?
Those. No. Leslie says she can. What's happened to the mounted officer? Every command group needs one.
I've got one.
He has got one with choice of head.
And 2 lancers to go with it. Yes.
And
yes, Martin got me. That was Martin's donation. Which, yes, very appreciated of that. And I brought you up some Fallschirmjäger, didn't I?
You did, and I'll put those together so we can have a little come up like.
Steve's like, what? Germans? Fallschirmjäger? Hello, what's that all about?
I'm gonna
big
go back.
Fallschirmjäger.
I'm gonna see what I can. I'll watch some of Steve's videos and see what I can put together. I might try and do one with it, like just sort of. I've combat rolled kind of pose. I'll see what I can do.
Well, that one I was telling you about, where he's down on his knees and they're bent behind him. That's a really cool pose. Quite a unique pose as well. You know which pose I'm on about, Steve? For the plastics.
Which one? Which?
The Fallschirmjäger where he's on his knees and he's got his legs bent behind him.
Yes.
That's a really sweet
very versatile. I've used that on machine gun crews, mortar crews. Yeah, it's very, very versatile. I just love that Fallschirmjäger box. In fact, all the plastic Germans that Warlord do are just so good. They're just good. So versatile, and you can swap between different boxes. So yeah, definitely agree with that.
Awesome. Miller's said, have you guys watched Miller's latest video where he did his crossbows?
No, I haven't yet.
Have you seen it?
No.
He strung his crossbows. So he's just said, am I going to string them? No.
We're not dumb. We're not nuts.
They look awesome. They really look cool. But I kind of just I don't know what it is about this unit. I was really happy when I stuck it together. I was like, yeah, I've kit bashed them all. Painting them's taken ages, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because they're the last ones I've got before I need to buy some more, and it's just mocking me a bit. Yeah, I'll have to see. NI Miniatures is in. Hello, Jay, and Ewan and Aaron Lowe are back, and Nick Games is back because he's just taking his dog for a walk.
Should have took a swim us with his headphones in his pocket. Beautiful thing about it's on YouTube, isn't it? They make you pay for the YouTube Plus, don't they?
I didn't know that until my better half told me last week that you've actually got to pay for it to be able to listen to it without the backlight on.
Yeah, there is a way around that, Steve, and I can tell you how after the stream if you want, but yes.
Oh, okay. Well, given that as of midnight tonight, I'm back under lockdown, so I won't be going out much.
Are you, mate? No. Is it back? Are you in a local lockdown? Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
from midnight tonight.
So, bloody hell! But the thing is, everything's rising again, innit? I think we just got our game in time, Martin.
Yeah. That means that Haley's going to be playing the next one probably. So.
Everyone will look forward to that. Haley kicking some ass.
But that's a shame.
You don't really see the reaction that Haley gave when the 95th were lost, were they, Martin? It was just that in the moment thing of being in the room and just hearing her go, "You done what?"
Yeah. Didn't quite capture it properly, did it?
No.
So we've got Warren Rabbits here. Hello. And Walkabout Games as well. There's quite a few people just dropped in now.
Yeah.
And then Bill Roy has asked, are any of us making up our own contrast paints? He's making a white, light grey one to go over the Apothecary white. I don't know. Has anyone tried doing their own? Or anything? Because Steve, you don't use them anyway, do you? You stick to...
Oh, I don't use them, no.
What, not at all,
Too old school.
Not at all.
No, still just use your standard Vallejo.
Yeah, I'm using a Vallejo model air paint at the minute to do this blue. It's actually working really well.
They are handy for that. I've got quite a few Vallejo air, and yeah, the some are really, really good for just effects. I mean, I've got one. I use it for doing rust on Necromunda bases.
Oh, okay. It's quite a smart idea. But no, I never thought about making my own. I've mixed them up to make different colours, but I've never actually made my own. I've got guys in my chat saying, Terry... Oh, God, bloody hell, I better catch up my chat. Oh, it's about Richard, Alpha 7563 has put Cromwell was Richard Harris in that film. Terry Head, yep. I had a relative who fought in English Civil War, Waterloo, Crimea, World War One, World War Two. Bloody hell. And I think Afghan were quite a military family. Yeah, bloody hell, yeah, definitely. Christ almighty, yeah, that is a big one. I got 99% of my level history told couldn't give me 100 as I would be classed as cheating. Done it on the Russian resolution. That's Steve Reese. And Alpha 7563 saying he's doing Portuguese infantry. School. Used to go work on Terry Head used to work on archaeological sites, recording finds. Sorry about the spelling, never passed that one at school. No, that's cool. doing 15mm wasp battery and grit. What's it? I'm really sorry, I can't pronounce that. But Granada Priego. I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I did my degree. He did his degree in modern history. That's quite cool. All history's cool.
Yeah, when I did my A-level history, I did the two, instead of doing it over 2 years, I did it in 1 year.
Did you?
So I combined. It was German history, 1918 to 1938, and then modern political history, 1945 to 1979.
Wow.
Bit of everything then, Steve.
It was rather interesting.
Yeah.
Very many years ago, though. So
Definitely. Sorry, Martin, I cut you off, didn't I?
Did you?
I think I did.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you were going to say something and I interrupted you.
I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was. What was the thing was about contrast paints, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
oh yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say. I haven't made my own because, first of all, I can't. I work near a games workshop, so it's very easy for me to just pop in and get them. And I just want to be able to. I guess it's that consistency and uniformity in colours. I want to know that what I'm using
Made
is
is
more or less
that,
the
yeah.
same. And then, but I would, if there was something I needed, I would mix it. I have mixed up glazes and oil washes before for stuff. So
yeah, mix is quite cool. I've mixed contrast paints, and I did it for those World War II American paratroopers. Did you see that one, Steve? Painting video I did for that.
I saw a couple of your contrast ones. I don't think that was. I don't even knew you did that one. I know you did a few of the earlier ones.
Yeah, you want to see? I did a D-Day paratrooper one, Steve, and I'm not joking. Yeah, is the colour is spot on. Is literally spot on for the D-Day, and it's so easy to make up.
Because that's one thing that when you if you look at the suggestions on the Warlord Games website for US Airborne uniforms, you have to mix. There's two different colours. They don't do a there's no standard paint that you can use.
No.
I mean, for my 15mm late war US Airborne, I just use what's it called here? Khaki grey as a base coat. Yeah. Khaki grey.
And like a green. Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, honestly, Steve, check it out. It might change your mind about the contrast. Just for that reason. Yeah, it didn't do too well, the video, but it is a really spot on colour.
Yeah. I really want to do some kind of late war, either British or American project, just so I'd have something to go up against my my Germans. In case I want to show somebody how to play a game. I've not got any kind of directly historically accurate opposition forces.
Yeah. No, it's always nice to have, isn't it?
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Bill Roy said, Steve, since then you've done your history, you've then concentrated on German history from 39 to 45.
Yeah. Could have done a master's in that, mate.
Yeah. I've done several additional modules since then.
Cool. We've got King Matt Superiors here. Hello, mate.
All right, Matt.
Right, buddy.
What we got here? Bill, who asked the question, says a white is really good, painted over the apothecary white for uniforms such as Austrians and Italians. He just finds it an easier way. It might be something to think about, Ken, with your Italians.
I got my trick. I got my trick, mate. Basically, it's that Liquitex white ink all over, and then I'm going to go over with a watered down Nuln oil, very watered down Nuln oil, and that's the white.
Oh, nice one. Nick Games has just said, that's very kind. His stream is great. He always listens or views it when he's at the hobby table. And today he's trying to get all the flags and all these regiments. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, bud.
Cheers, Nick.
Glad it's nice that people actually keep coming back.
Yeah.
It is nice. I'm planning to keep
I've noticed
doing it.
there's a couple of people that watch the stream, also comment on my pictures on Instagram. So
okay.
I'm not really a social media person, but it's actually kind of cool that people sort of know who you are in sort of the hobby community. I think it's really, really awesome.
Yeah,
it is cool. It is cool. Oh, we've had a question. I don't know this one. Tom the Wargamer. What are our opinions on the army painter paints? Now you've got a lot of those, don't you, Ken?
I've got the whole set.
Go. You
I
have
love
the
them.
floor, sir.
Yeah, I love them. No, they're great. No, they really are good. I've got, like I say, I've got the whole set. I've got the mega paint set, and I'm using them at the minute. Actually, I'm using them for my Napoleonics. I used for like my great coats. I've used Necromancer cloak, but there's so many. There's so many different varieties of color. But there's not too many. It's just the right amount, I think, and I'm glad I've got a complete set of them. I've got Vallejo as well, and I've got some Games Workshop ones, but I don't really touch the Games Workshop ones anymore. Not a huge amount. Sometimes some of the metallics I use, but the washes are really nice. I've started to use the washes a lot more.
Yeah. Like I said, the only Games Workshop paints I use are the washes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Mephiston Red. It's the nicest red I've ever used.
Yeah, it's a nice red.
So I'll always use that.
Yeah, it's a nice red. But yeah, the Army Painter range, absolutely love it. And they're in dropper bowls. What's not to like about dropper bowls? And just trying to think what some of my favourite colours or my go-to colours on there. I like the tan flesh. The flesh tone I really do like. They do the barbarian flesh as well. And I find as well just a tad of water just to thin them down a little bit is all you need.
Yeah.
Especially they don't dry out, but they're good paints. They're gel based paint as well, just so you know. So
I own one.
Oh, do you only own one?
Yeah.
I own. Here it is. Witch Brew.
Witch Brew,
Which
yeah.
is my favourite green for highlighting. I think it's wicked. It kind of comes out like looking too light, but it dries a really nice colour. Like it's just a bit. So all my green is, especially if you get Militarum green, the contrast. If you then put a little bit of Witch Brew just on some high points, it really adds to it.
Makes it
really
stand out. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No.
The only army painter the only one I've got is Strong Tone. That's the only army painter one I use.
Oh, okay. No, see, look, it's all personal preference, isn't it? But I think they do a really nice range of colours, and I just paint's paint at the end of the day.
How do they compare to Vallejo? But I wonder now. But Leslie's also asked in the comments. How do they compare with like the Vallejo paints?
In what regards? You mean thickness? How they spread?
Well, I'd say overall quality. I mean, what would you say is the superior painting? What paint do you prefer using? The Army Painter one or?
Ooh, that's interesting. I think they're about the same. I like them both the same, but the Vallejo is definitely gained more towards the historical wargamer. But then I think you go down the path of there's too many colours, too many shades of brown to start getting the perfect tone of that uniform, and I think you go down the slippery slope. Not buying one paint to do 5 uniforms and you'll never do it again when you could have just used a slightly different brown and it would look fine. Do you know what I mean? So there's specific paints for specific jobs, and if you only want a little bit of paint, you have to buy a whole tub that you're never going to use the rest of. For application wise, they both go on really well. They both just need a little bit of watering down. But I will admit my favourite brown of all time is actually a Vallejo, and it's the flat brown from Vallejo. Absolutely love that brown. Such a good brown. All my rifles are based on that. They really is a really nice brown. But yeah, no, they're more to. I would say there's a lot more brighter colours, so they're good for a mix between fantasy and wargaming.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about them. They are good for a mix between the two.
Yeah. No, it's someone's just asked as well. It's kind of this is fine. This is all quite well related. What's the who makes the best matte varnish? What do you finish your models off of? Do you varnish your models?
not very often when I remember to. Not my plastics, my metals. I try to if I remember, but I use that GW and a spray stuff. But I have got some airbrush varnish as well, which I need to use. I need to try that. But yeah, what about you, Steve?
Yeah, the only figures I've ever varnished was when I painted up the Strontium Dog starter set from Warlord Games, because they're metal, and for me they're like gaming pieces. You only have 4 or 5 dudes on each side. So I thought I'm gonna be playing this a lot and teaching people how to play it and give them a good varnish. But I used it was I've got it here actually. It was a Vallejo one. Here we go, Vallejo matte varnish.
Oh, I've got some of that somewhere.
Yeah, that came in the with the set of airbrush paints. So it's supposed to go through an airbrush.
Varnish is a varnish, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I use Tester's Dull Coat because there's a little train model shop near us that sells that, and but I quite like the GW one, the Munitorium varnish, because it isn't completely matte. I find sometimes that some matte varnishes just go a bit too. I don't know. It's not completely matte. It's not wholly satin either, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining myself really poorly there. But
I know what you mean. It doesn't dull it down. It doesn't dull down the vibrancy of the miniature too much.
Exactly. And yeah, Paul Richardson's here. Hello, mate. But he said Tester's Dull Coat as well. So
hasn't there been a problem in getting hold of Tester's Dull Coat though? I'm sure somebody made a video. It might have been Ralph Astley was saying that he was having some problems and actually getting hold of.
Oh,
the Testers.
The model shop near me has loads. There's
loads right.
In there. I'll get it because they're in like little rattle cans rather than sort of like your standard size. They come quite small. Because I've started priming using the Tamiya stuff.
Right.
I've just because this model shop, because they do a lot of large scale, like just scale models, like tanks,
1/35 sort of scale.
Yeah, and they're lovely, but they cover really, really well. And since my airbrush is broken, I'm not using any something like that. Stop laughing.
How did that break mine?
It just broke, and I swore a lot.
But you can
my airbrush, all my airbrush does is make me swear. I can't use that thing without swearing for about 45 minutes after I've even stopped using it.
I love my airbrush. It's like my best friend.
What else have we got in here? Duncan says Army Painter is some of the least evocative paint names.
They're not the greatest names, but they get the job done.
I think we've missed him, but Tom the Wargamer said bye. And Leslie said for Brown you can't beat Snakebite Leather.
Yeah, the new Snakebite Leather is nice. I use that a lot.
I'm using it right now.
See, my standard go-to brown is Burnt Umber by Vallejo. I use that for absolutely everything.
Oh yeah, I've got Burnt Umber, Steve. I know what one you mean now. Yeah, it is a nice brown. Yeah, it is a really nice brown actually. I like the German field brown or whatever it is.
My favourite two are German camo black brown.
Yeah,
and dark rust. They're so again some of my favourite browns.
I definitely found as well with these Napoleonics, I wanted to paint them in a more traditional style. It's like, I know I was saying to you, Mike, when I was saying I could do these greatcoats with contrast to try and speed these up. But
yeah,
I did.
I don't think there's any need.
No, I started doing it and I was just, I saw the finish of it and I was just like, nah. I'm going to paint these.
They don't take very long.
No, these greatcoats don't.
Anyway.
No.
They're bloody great.
Yeah.
Okay. When would I have said, Steve, what's going on with us, mate? What's going on with us? How the hell did we get in these bloody Napoleonics?
I don't know, but the company I'm painting now, there's no great coats in it. It's 6 dudes in dress uniform, and it's doing my head in. It really
Mate, I know
is.
what you
Oh,
mean.
no.
I know what you mean, mate. I've been there. I did 24 of them, and it was horrible. 24 of them, Steve. 24. One after another.
See,
No,
I'm painting
no
these.
great coats to break it up.
What I've started doing is leaving the cross straps to the very, very, very last part of the miniature.
Yes.
Because I have to have like a shot of rum for Dutch courage before you even approach it.
The white is like the last thing I now do on any sort of miniature. Just the amount of times I had to go back over it.
I tell you what, Martin. I was doing some of the head swaps from the Perry kit.
Yeah.
It worked really well. I was expecting utter total carnage.
Because you had to saw them off or clip them off, basically.
Yeah, you have to snip. Yeah, it was dead good. The first one I did, I just got clippers and went at his neck with the clippers. You know that? Have you ever seen that scene at the end of Terminator 2 where T-1000 gets blown into like this really like odd shape? This is what the guy's body went like. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't find it too bad. I thought that as well. I was like, oh, this is going to look rubbish. But I don't know if the spare heads have got a little bit more neck on them, so that they compensated for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that, but I didn't find it horrific either.
What I found out to do was on both of them was very, very small bit of green stuff where there was a slight gap. But that aside, no, it was definitely it was a lot more successful than I actually envisaged. I thought it was going to be absolute carnage.
Yeah, I know they went. They do look good. They don't have that in the set that Ken's got. They've just sort of they've got it's interchangeable. They didn't just produce ones with just heads already attached.
No, they're lovely. They really is good, mate. The new kit. If you're gonna get another set, mate, and you're gonna do just be prepared. There are no grey coats. So it is 44 in dress uniform.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So treat yourself. When you're feeling brave.
Well, is this after or before I've painted hussars?
After, definitely after. Ken saw those hussars. He'll tell you. I showed him why it sent me a bit funny. Like you can see on there. What people saying in here? Wargamers Anonymous. Phil says Tamiya's varnish is also very good. I don't think I've ever used the varnish. I don't think I'll have to try that out. Nick Game says contrast paints are great for boots, leather straps, and basically stuff that is not so eye-catching. Jay from NIO Miniatures said he doesn't need contrast paints to paint a Napoleonic. He can do it in 10 minutes. In fact, he's just done a video painting a Napoleonic British officer. I think it's 8 minutes. He's done it in.
Does he do commission painting very cheaply?
You have to ask him. You have to ask him. How many of you got that need doing? Because remember, again, I say there's 9 battalions here that you can have for the price of
$29.99.
Ewan and Aaron Lowe says he's been looking at Perry's. He now wants to start a Prussian army. You and me both. I've got Prussian Landwehr that I'm working through at the minute.
Are they the ones you showed me? Mine.
Yeah, the ones that don't have any cross belts, that are basically just wearing smocks, and some of them are even just barefoot. The army I should have started.
Yeah, they're my favourite Napoleonic figures.
The problem is I couldn't use the Prussians though. That's the problem. I got a fake because it's Dom's fault. Dom needs an opponent. I can't wait to crush him with these.
And then what we got? Miller says, in the newest issue of Wargames Illustrated, they've suggested basing miniatures in brown for never mind the Bill Hooks of the Wars of the Roses period. I didn't see that bit. I don't know. I've based things in red. I based my British in red and my French in dress uniform in blue. So, I don't know about basing in brown. I tend to base in white or light grey now. And that's not just because of contrast paints. I think even before the contrast paints came out, I was doing that.
No, I base in
You're going to say black.
It's usually a mixture of brown and green. I can't use white, and I don't use black. I like a nice sort of rich brown color as a base comp.
I like grey. Like grey or an off-white. Love an off-white. It's just more the fact I feel like I can darken it down with washes. But it's a pain in the arse to brighten it up again, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem.
And Leslie said head swaps at any scale are easy in any scale from 15mm to 54mm. I think it all depends on the company, the quality of the miniatures though, because I've tried head swapping some things and they've come out horrific. They've ended up being casualty markers.
Warlord games, it's so easy head swaps on Warlord games.
Yeah, they're all designed to fit in the same thing. I have got some casualty markers here, mine.
You got the Warlord games ones, yeah. What are you going to do? Are you going to do what I do, which is have loads of individual markers, or are you going to stick them on a base or something?
Oh no, I'm going to have it in individuals. Individuals. They look better. Something satisfying as well about putting them down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because it was your first game of putting
not taking models off.
onto a board and not taking models off.
Yeah, I quite liked it. It worked for Napoleonics.
Yeah, it wouldn't really work for skirmish.
No, it did work for Napoleonics.
And what we got here? Paul Richardson said, "Paint Brunswickers, the easiest Napoleonic army to paint." They're the ones that Victrix have got a set coming out soon, haven't they? Brunswickers. I was quite interested in those actually. I saw they were releasing them.
Yeah. Where's that?
So we got. Peter Little says, "I'm afraid to say what school are you supposed to attend?" Okay.
Oh, what is school? He didn't go. He didn't go to school. He never turned up.
Sorry.
Yeah, all right.
I think that's what he said.
Cool. And what we got here? Ewan and Aaron Lowe said the plastic set is great. If I get another set of mounted officer, I could have another 2 24-man battalions. That's the Prussians. Another metal set and Jaegers as well.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know what my problem with the French Napoleonics is, Martin? And you probably had this problem as well. When you go onto the Perry's website and you go to their section where it says French and then metals, and then there's about 9 pages worth.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I buy next? Because like you were saying the other day, what your idea of what you were saying about those what they called mine when they go off to give orders. You want to get the models for?
Aide de Camp.
The Aide de Camps. That idea straight away went in my head, and I thought that is freaking great. What an idea!
They're on there. They're on there. Page 1 or 2. I've looked.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then you've got models of like guy lighting torch, guy extinguishing torch, and I was just like, there just seems to be a model for every action in the game, and I was just like. Well, when Michael and Alan Perry were on the show and they were talking, we do these models for us. You can understand those individual place models just swapping out.
Well, you've even got the guys who are like, crossing water, so you've only got like half a body. So you can just have some guys in the river, like putting together a pontoon bridge, I think they are, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I
was just like, there's so many miniatures. Yeah, because I think it's Alan, isn't it? He loves his French. I'm pretty sure Alan really liked the French. He's got masses of French.
Dave Miller's come up with a quick question. If you guys want to give it a try.
Yeah, go on.
Off the cuff.
Yeah.
What's your favourite World War II vehicle or tank? I can do mine as easy. The Staghound. Go on, you have a go.
Mine, Stug.
Ooh.
Stug life, baby.
Mine would probably be the Firefly. Just because that's
There we go,
£17 a gun in a tank.
What we got then there? Yeah, that's a quality tank though.
Bloody massive, but yeah. Oh, I finished that second book of the Harlequin series. About to
Hey,
go
did
on.
you enjoy it?
Yeah, bloody amazing. I'm about to go on the third, get that done, and then I can get on my Napoleonic books, but I can't stop listening to it. The problem is, I don't know whether to wait until I get back into the 100 Years' War again and then listen to it, or, do it a bit, do something else a bit different in the audiobook front. Not too sure. But I do want to. I do want to listen to it. That's the problem. I don't think I'm going to.
Just listen to it then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I like building. It's kind of like building up a momentum with them, isn't it?
Yeah, because you still got all the story fresh in your mind, haven't you?
Yeah, I just do it because there's two more. There's one. There's another two to do. If you've done the second one. Yeah. There's 4.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 3.
No, well, there's 3 in the trilogy, and then he wrote another one more recently that carries the story on.
That makes it
not
even better.
Agincourt. It's another one.
That makes it even better. Have you read them all, Martin?
Well, that's all the flesh done on those last 6 Fusiliers.
Well done. Is those
And
are
much...
the last 6, aren't they?
They are the last 6, yeah. And there was lots of bayonets in hands as well. That's definitely a danger. An occupational hazard of painting Napoleonics is constantly impaling yourself on bayonets.
Yep. I was doing it while we were playing. That was the even funnier part.
Yeah.
There is probably some of my DNA, mate, on those miniatures. Not gonna lie.
Sorry.
You dirty bastard.
Right. You know, I finished my my crossbows, and I'm just sorting out the. There we go. I'm just sorting out the shields now, the transfers. So I'll hopefully have these done and out of my life soon. But you know what happened is I'll go, like you say, I'll go on the Perry website and go, oh, that looks nice. Oh, a bombard. That looks awesome. I clearly need this massive cannon that was only used in sieges. What's that? I've now got to build a town wall. Okay.
I need that in my life, yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it?
I'm going to get one. I decided that I was going to give it to Warwick, the Kingmaker, because I was like, well, if anyone's going to have it and going to afford it,
he's got one in his castle, mate. I can tell you that much because I've seen it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yes, because they have the Kingmaker exhibit, don't they?
They do, and it's there. And I was quite taken aback. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Do you know what he did? Like, while he laid siege, when he laid siege to Bamborough Castle, right? I can't remember if it was from Warwick or from Edward, the king. But basically, he said the ultimatum to the defenders were, for you surrender the castle. If you don't surrender, for every cannonball that we use, we'll execute one person in there. So they kept count of the shot.
Fucking hell.
Is it just me, or is it in those days? They didn't mess around, did they? I mean, there was no
ifs, ands, or buts.
Everything was quite an extreme. There was
I don't know. Maybe it's because they had a shorter life expectancy, and they were just like, "Now we just want to get on with it."
Yeah, but somebody sat down and thought, right, how are we going to do this? Right, for every cannonball we fire, someone's getting it. I mean, it was just there's no messing around. They were very straight to the point.
No, that's it.
I wouldn't have liked to have lived back in those days. I really wouldn't.
No, exactly. No. So, tonight, what did you guys get done again? Sorry?
I have finished all my crossbows. So I've done a unit of 9 Burgundian crossbowmen to finish off my Burgundian mercenary brigade to help my Yorkists.
Very nice.
These are the ones that I sort of kit bashed together after being inspired by Steve. And yeah, that's what I achieved.
And you've done your flesh, didn't you, Steve? You saying?
I've base coated three sections of 15mm Germans, and I've inked flesh and washed 6 Fusiliers. So tomorrow I'll be highlighting the flesh, then the muskets, and then the cross straps. And I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it.
Well, I've actually been very productive, and I can't believe how productive I've actually been. I've done all the black, so all the boots on 18 guys, all their hats. I've done all the browns for their rifles. I've done the Fusiliers bits on the top. What's that? What is that? Like a cat badge, isn't it?
Which bit?
The bit on top of the Shaco there.
Yeah.
Basically. So I've done all of those. So, and I've done all the flesh on them as well. I've gone mental tonight.
That's it.
I've gone mental tonight. These are like 80% done.
That's good stuff.
That's nearly my second battalion.
Tomorrow I'll be entering a Zen trance before attempting the white cross straps. It's the only way to get through it.
Oh dear. Right. Better get going, guys, haven't we? It's 10, gone past 10. So thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Dom is back next week. He's been on his travels, so let's see what he comes back in with his tale, see how much hobby he's managed to get done. He's been putting the videos out, but he's getting the videos out.
Still cranking it out,
Still cranking it out. But yeah. Well, guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again very soon.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.
See you
later. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Oh.